Hey guys, this is my mom's 2002 Honda Odyssey minivan that she bought brand new from the dealership back in 2002, and I think she named this car Miracle. It has, I believe, 268,000 miles on it, all of which came from her and my dad, and a lot of trips from us over the years going to Disneyland and Reno and all these other places. Um, but this has been a very solid car for us. It has a V6 engine under here, and my dad and I worked on this a lot, and Steve on Grant Avenue in Nevada worked on this, and I think we're finally letting this thing go, and it's been 17 years this car's been with us, and it's got alloy wheels and leather interior and a lot of nice stuff, and I'm just cleaning it up right now. And it is hard to kind of let these things go because these cars been a lot of places with your family over the years, and they mean a lot. And I can't believe how good a condition it's in, actually. But yeah, the steering wheel, leather interior, it's a Honda. Looks like it's almost brand new, and it's a really nice car, and I'm very sad to have to let this go. But at the same time, I tell myself that this is this car's next chapter in life, and it's going to go on to a new family and continue to get used and abused every day. We haven't abused this too bad. It's a good car, and still ready for a lot more adventures. But I used to sit in this seat, and Kirk would sit in this seat, and my dad would usually sit here. And I remember driving to Disneyland in this thing, and we have a little DVD player up there, which back in 2002 was a really big deal, and it was really cool. And you would load in the DVDs right here, and you could play movies, and we would watch SpongeBob and all these other things. And I always thought these little vents right here were like airplanes. I thought it was super cool, and you could turn off the lights by pressing on it, usually. And yeah, you could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in this van comfortably, and you had a trunk back there. And this is the original stereo that came with the car, and it has a tape player as well, so it can do pretty much everything. And this has been a really nice car, and it is hard to let go. And when you used to pay tolls and there wasn't fast track, you kept all your change in here. Mom used to drive us to McDonald's, you know, when you put the drinks in there, and it was super cool. And it was many years ago, but yeah, this is a really nice car, and I am sad to see it go, but life must go on. And she has a new CRV that I hope she likes. But yeah, I'm just cleaning this out and getting ready to sell it, and it is hard not having my dad, but I know this is what he'd want me to be doing. And so I've just been cleaning off this. Something interesting is that, like, my mom, I think she wears like, or puts on hand lotion or something, but it took me about 20 minutes of Clorox wipes to get this stuff. So there was like this cake of skin and moisturizer cream from the last 17 years on here. So taking it off was kind of hard, but got it off, and the steering wheel cleans up pretty nice, and I think it kind of formed like a protective layer for the wheels, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I can't, oh, man. It's just like to look back at this seat and to think about how much growing up I did back there. 2002, I would have been 6 years old. So sitting in this seat, we actually had like the child seats back in the day that I would sit in, because you don't put, people were terrified to put kids in the regular seats. So I think I stayed in the child seat for a really long time. These doors are really cool. They actually open up from here when they work. And let's try the other one. Yeah, there we go. So these doors just kind of slide out like that. It was super slick, and you didn't have to worry about door dinging people, and you could jump out. And I always thought it was super cool how these things work. Yeah, and you had like a little pouch back here. You could keep everything, valuable stuff. But yeah, this was a super nice car. Is a super nice car. Everything is electric. Just got cruise control, power mirrors. Here's how you set the cruise control. And we even have the stock, the manual that comes from the dealer, the user manual with the radio codes and everything in it. So yeah, this car is solid, and it's got a working AC that my mom uses a lot, and it's got seat warmers too, and that's the e-brake, so just step off to release it and push down to engage it. This was a car I was driving. I'd say I used this car when I took the driver's test back in when I was 16. But this is the car I used, and the DMV lady was right there, and she was super nice, and I passed the first time, and I got real lucky, and I drove very responsibly and safely. And the nice thing about this car is it's an automatic, so I think it's an automatic fail when you take your test if you took like one hand off the wheel. So passing that test when you have a stick shift like my other car, the CRX, is probably pretty difficult to do. But yeah, honestly, this car is, it's just hard to say this stuff because it's like so nice. 2002, and we're in 2019 right now, and honestly, I'm underwhelmed by newer cars, and everything has to be serviced by a dealer, and you can't do anything yourself anymore. These are great cars, and they just work. This has 268,000 miles on it, and it's still running perfectly fine, like the day it came out of the factory. My dad and I changed the timing belt on this, and I changed the thermostat, and I mean, it has the original automatic transmission, and it does have that little whine to it, but apparently these transmissions were supposed to die at like 100,000 miles, but this one's made it to 268,000, so that's why my mom calls this thing Miracle. Man, this is hard to let go. I remember we used to go to karate in this thing. And put on our kimonos, and yeah, Kirk and I would be sitting back there, and my mom would drive us. We go to tournaments and tests and all this stuff, and she drove me to every day to elementary school and middle school and some of high school until I had my own car. And by the time you get old enough, you move up from these two seats up to this seat. You get to ride shotgun, and riding shotgun is the coolest thing in the world. This car has this tray right here. It's super cool. Oh, man. It's hard to let go. But this car does need a new home. And it should be exciting. But this car is my childhood. And I really do love it. When you're driving this thing, I always thought it was the coolest thing when my dad turned on cruise control. Like the car could just keep itself going at the same speed. You just press this button here to turn it on, and then when you press set, the car would hold it at whatever your current speed was. And I just remember it being super late at night, and my dad was driving this thing, and man, it's a great car, and I love it. And I really hope people realize these were great cars and they start making cars like this again. This is all fake wood, by the way, but I still think it's beautiful. And you can tell it's fake because like that little thing back there has stuff that just comes off. There's just a little adhesive that like sticks it on. Also, this screen here comes out like that. You can watch movies. That was super cool. Man, this was a good car. I mean, you look at, this is a Honda. Think about BMWs. Within 10 years, the side bolstering is all torn up and broken. But in these Hondas, it's perfectly fine. That's amazing. I can't believe how good these seats are. Just everything about this car was just great. I'm gonna miss it.